Okay, so now that we know the basics of building components with React, I want to talk about building layout. All right, I have a page here with a status bar component and 4 other views, and these 4 views are inside of a parent view. As we always have, we have to have one view that wraps around everything, so that's our one parent element. And the styles on this parent element are flex1, flex direction column, and the background of white. All right, so my page is white in the background. That's what I'm getting by default anyway. Flex1 tells the browser, tells the device to render this app completely from top to bottom, 100%. So there's only one thing at this parent level, and the flex gets one portion of that. So one amount of all the remaining free space. Well, since there's nothing else at this level, it gets 1 out of 1, so 100%, it gets everything. And the direction is column. Now, as I add elements inside of it, they're going to stack up as a column. And that's what's happening with these other 4 views. They are going to stack up one on top of the other, like this. Now, just a side note here about the status bar, and this pertains to layout because at the top we have this status bar, and it's about 20 units high. If the status bar is not hidden, so oftentimes you want to keep the status bar up here so people can see what's going on. There's a property called hidden where we can set this to true. That will make the whole thing disappear. If I did that, that works on Android and iOS, but I'm going to bring it back just so we can see it here. Now, bar style, there's default, there's dark content, and there's light content. With light content, you can see that the text becomes white. Some of this you can't see because there's nothing behind it. Network activity indicator visible, that's this little spinny thing right here. This is an iOS setting. There's a couple of other settings which are Android specific. There's one called translucent and another one for background color. So with Android, you can change that color. You can also control this through JavaScript. If you have imported this status bar object, then up here inside the component did mount or the other method, lifecycle methods, and in other methods you can refer to status bar just by its component and call various methods. If you look on the documentation page, if you scroll way down into the component section, you'll be able to find right here the status bar. Here's the component. Here's all the properties and the methods that you can get. And as we scroll down and look at them, you can see some of them say platform, Android, or iOS, and you can tell that they're specific for that. We're going to be looking at layout with Flexbox. That's what we're doing right now. So this is inside the basics section, layout with Flexbox. All right, so let's jump back to our app. Here it is. The 4 views that we have inside of here. Now, the parent view, we gave Flex1 and direction column, so it's filling the whole thing with the Flex1. The direction says where the other elements should be stacked or how they should be stacked, whether it's across or down. If we change this to row instead of column, there we go. They stack up across this way. Now the styles that I have on the 4 other views, inner content 2, inner content 1, inner content 3, these are just names that I picked for this. We have on all 4 of these, I've set a width and height, so a fixed amount of device-independent pixels. That's what this is, 100, 100, 100, 100. So they're all the same height. You'll notice that these last 3 are appearing underneath this text. So 3 is conflicting with the time, 4 is conflicting with this battery thing, 1 is appearing below this, and that's because on that one, I added padding top of 20 pixels. I could have changed this and said margin top, like that. That shifts it down, so it leaves a gap here. So you can decide how you want to do this. If you want to do it on the container and have a margin or padding at the top, so this color is going to show up behind the status bar, or if the status bar is hidden, you don't need margin top. But it's always good to have your text away from the edge here. So we could say that we want to put padding of 20 on all 4 sides, and we could do that on all the elements, just to make sure that they're away from the edge right here. It makes it much easier to read them. All right, now I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to set this to hidden so I don't see that anymore. I just want to focus on the layout, these elements right here. All right, we've got right now the hard-coded 100 by 100. I'm going to put this back to column and we'll be able to see all of the widths, all the heights. There we go. I want to change this though. I don't want these to be stuck, and I don't want to have to try and figure out what is the actual dimensions of the screen and then resize these things. So what we do is we get rid of these heights and widths. We don't want to use those. We don't want to guess. We don't want to give a fixed size. In most cases, there will occasionally be times when you want that, but in most cases what we're going to do is we're going to use flex. Now, this is a column. These are stacked up in a column. If I was to use the flex property inside of here, and I said flex 1, and I did that for all 4 of them. There we are, fill it in for all 4. What happens now is they each get an equal proportion, because all these numbers, they're all at the same level, they're all children of the container, so the total numbers that I have here will be added up. There's 4 of them, so 1 out of 4, 1 out of 4, 1 out of 4. So this one gets a quarter, this one gets a quarter, this one gets a quarter, this one gets a quarter. They're all going to be the same size. Now we can also add the padding in here if we want to keep things away from the edges. And there we are. Now, this top one originally had an extra 20 pixels on the top and bottom. So it looked a little bit larger because it had an extra 40 pixels added to it. If we take away the flex on this second one and we go back to saying, you know what, the height on this guy is going to be 50. This is what happens. We get 50 pixels total space for this one. The remaining space gets divided 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3. So you can see these proportions make it very easy to work with, and we can even use decimal numbers. So this one gets a half, this one gets a full, and a full. Pretty easy. That's all we have to do. And then if we had changed this to row at that point, it's going to work the same way. This gets a full portion, this gets a half, a full, and a full. Okay. Makes it very easy to build a stack, and you can also nest these things inside of one another. Let's go back to column, and I want to take number 2 and number 3 and put them side by side inside of here. So we come in, we say view. So there's another view inside here. Number 1 and number 4 are above and below it. And for the style, we're going to say styles.innercontent row, I think was the one that I made. Yes. There we are. Now let's take a look at those styles. Number 1, we're getting flex 1. Number 4 gets flex 1. And icy row gets flex 1. So they're going to be 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Then these two, and I'm going to tab them in just to make it easier to spot them. We are going to say that these two, I want them to be half and half. So I'll say you're going to be flex 1, you're going to be flex 1, but flex 1 inside of the row. This one's flex 1, and the direction is a row. There we go. So 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. The first element, the purple one, gets 1. Number 4 gets 1. So they're equal proportions. And then this view gets an equal proportion, but we have padding and padding, so he's got an extra 40, he's got an extra 40. If we wanted that here as well, we would have to add the padding inside of here too. There we go, but we lose the color when we do that. So just something to keep in mind. If you want to set the color on the background of this, you're going to have to do that too. Background color, and we'll set it to F3F. There we are. So we've got the pink on the background here. It's getting a little hard to discern some of these, but we can see where the row is now, and 1 and 1, we can change this. We can say that I want 3, and this one's going to get 1. So this one's 3 times the size of this one. Simple enough. Now, alignment, that's the other thing for the content inside of all these. You can play around with these and move them around and break up the proportions however you like, but the alignment inside of here, we have 2 properties for doing alignment. There is justify content and align items. And if you've ever done Flexbox with CSS, you'll be very familiar with these properties. So number 1, I'm going to say justify content. This is for the outer container. And I want it to be along this axis. How do I want to align these guys? So if I said center, they're centered inside of their spaces. And we can say align items. It's also going to be centered. There we are. So we are aligning the items in the center across the axis. So the axis is the column. Across that, we're centering these. Now, I don't want them to be compressed to whatever size they are here. I do want them to fill their space. So the default, which is what you would get if you didn't specify this, is stretch. Now they're stretched across. Now, inside of here, what do we want to do with the content inside of here? So if I said justify content on this was center, there we go. This one, along the main axis for the column, the content is being centered. So we set the direction here for justify content. These deal with the 2 different axes. Justify content is along the main axis, and align items is on the cross axis. So number 1, we said center along the main axis, which was set right here. And then align items, we can also say, now here we're talking about what's inside of this view, which is the text. We can center that. And you can do the same thing with all of these. So if I took those, go down to number 4, refreshing that, it's centered as well. But if we change this to, say, flex start, there it is. Along the main axis for the page, we've justified it at the start. And center, the text view is centered. We could move it over to this side by saying flex end. There it is. Now for these guys inside of here, if we said justify content again, center, and align items, also center, there we go. This is centered vertically and horizontally inside of this space. Flex end, right here. So the align items in this direction. Now you would think, because it's inside of a row, that the main axis would go in this direction. But for these properties, it's whatever the direction is that's set at the top of the page. This is the one that is going to control which way justify content and which way align items work. So we're dealing with columns. Align items means horizontally. Justify is vertically. So flex end and center. That's going to put the word to down here. There it is. All right, so I will save a copy of this as a code gist. You can take that, you can play around with it, move the elements around, try adding additional views in here, create additional rows, see if you can line them up the way you want them. Remember, you've got that status bar here, and padding will help you deal with that. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching.